My parents actually met in a meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. I didn't know it, when I was born. Obviously, when I was a young kid, I would go to meetings, Alcoholics Anonymous meetings with my dad, and treatment centers for my mom because she couldn't stay sober. My parents got divorced at a very early age. I think I was about 5 years old because my mom couldn't stop getting high. I jeopardized my values as a child, and it just grew from there. And when I picked up my first drink, I was about 9 or 10 years old. As the years went on, I started getting into harder drugs, cocaine, methamphetamines, heavy in my addiction, and I got a phone call from my stepdad, and he couldn't even speak on the phone, and all of a sudden a woman came on, and she said, is this Ayden Perez? I said, yes, and she said, we're taking your mother to the Maryvale hospital. My heart sunk to my stomach, and I knew exactly what it was. My mom had OD'd. She stayed alive for about 6 weeks, during which time I could only go to the hospital maybe twice. I could gather enough up to get down there, and each time I was drunk and high, and that was just the degree of my selfishness. I couldn't be there for my family. I couldn't be there for my mother and watch her. I watched her take her last breath, but I was of no support. I can't stop. I tried. I got arrested. I've traveled. I moved to Australia. That was where I walked into my first meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. Then I read the book. That was the most important part. Is I read the book, and it explains that an alcoholic is just someone who cannot control their drinking, who has this mental obsession, this physical craving to drink. This phenomenon of craving, and that changed my perspective, and I was a little bit open to a message of hope. And they sat me down. They gave me a book. They wrote their numbers in the book, and they said, "Welcome." They seemed like they had great lives. They were telling me about their jobs and their relationships and the people that they get to help in their lives, and it was very attractive to me, but I still didn't believe it, and I thought somebody was getting paid to be there. I was scared. I was scared of the work that had to be done. I was scared to look at the things I've done in my life, and I was scared to make amends. So it wasn't until I got a sponsor and worked through the steps and actually did the inventory and made the amends is where I got freedom, and working with others and taking an inventory on a daily basis and continuing to try and be a man that, my God, this new relationship I have with this power greater than myself would have me be, and helping other alcoholics. Ever since I've had this freedom I've never knew was possible. I can lay my head down at night and go to sleep. I don't have to sit and think about all the terrible things I've ever done or how I'm going to make it right, how I'm not going to get drunk or high. I feel like my life today is not fair, how great my life is. I feel like everything in my life is happening, and I was told early on in sobriety is when I think of other people and when I put another man's needs before my own, and when I help another man get what he wants in his life, God will automatically give me anything I've ever wanted, and I don't even have to ask for it. And I believe that to be true. When I think of other people more than I think of myself. And the 12 steps have allowed me to break down the walls that I put up to separate me from the rest of the world, and I'm grateful for that. And the 12 steps set me free, and I owe my life to Alcoholics Anonymous. And if you're new, I encourage you to get a sponsor and work the 12 steps, because they'll save your life. Do the work, and your life will be amazing. I guarantee it.